I asked if she remembered where Natalie went to school. She paused, clearly unsure, and guessed it was the same one I went to. It wasn't a guess. Natalie told her that. It clicked in that moment. Ethan wasn't in love with Natalie. He was in love with the story, the curated identity, the polished version of a hardworking, talented woman who had supposedly built something out of nothing. That wasn't her journey. It was mine, word for word. I started making a wedding gift. A custom-framed timeline of their love story, how they met, their first trip, the job that launched her career. It looked like a sweet tribute, but every single design on that timeline had been taken from my original work. Fonts, layout, icons, even quotes I'd once used in a campaign. Anyone else would just see a romantic decoration. But if someone knew the truth, it was a flashing sign. Natalie never brought up the past again. She probably thought I'd let it go. She was wrong. I wasn't planning to have another talk with her. I was planning to close the loop. I printed everything. Emails from clients who had unknowingly hired her under my name. Before and after screenshots of my original projects and her copies. I had metadata logs proving I created the files. Even timestamps of social posts that showed she uploaded work days after I did. I printed them and put each set into labeled white envelopes. One for Ethan, one for his sister, one for his mom. Then I uploaded the same evidence to a private cloud folder, locked it, and created unique QR codes for each of them. I tested every link twice, encrypted the folders, and saved backup copies on a flash drive. Nothing was going to get lost or erased. The night before the bridal shower, I ran a final check. 3 sets of envelopes, 3 QR codes, all clean, all clear. No room for doubt. The wedding was just under a week away. Everything was in motion now. Natalie had no idea. She was busy picking table runners and cake samples, smiling in photos, writing captions about love and trust and fate. She thought she was walking into the best day of her life. She had no idea the truth was already printed, packed, and ready to be unwrapped. The bridal shower took place at a vineyard about 30 minutes outside town. White tables under ivy-covered trellises, pastel napkins, glasses of rose clinking nonstop. Natalie had chosen everything down to the playlist. She made a big deal about me giving the opening toast, called it tradition. But it wasn't about tradition. She wanted me in pictures, front and center, proof that everything between us was perfect. I wore a lavender dress, simple makeup, clean hair. I kept my voice steady, my smile even. I talked about growing up together, about how different we were, but how life still brought us to this moment. People laughed at the right spots, nodded along. Natalie beamed beside me like she was soaking in the spotlight she thought she'd earned. Ethan's mother sat at the main table, watching me more than anyone else. After the toast, she came over while everyone else was fussing with gift bags. She asked where I went to school. I gave the real name, same one I've always used on my resume. Her eyes narrowed just slightly. Then she said Natalie had told her she graduated top of the same program. No reaction from me. Just changed the topic to wine pairings. But I saw the crease form between her brows. The first crack. Every group in Natalie's new world had been told a version of the truth. Enough to sound real, never enough to check. That worked, until people from different groups started talking. During lunch, we were sitting at a long table under a canopy, about 10 people, some friends, a few coworkers, 2 cousins, and Ethan's mom again. The conversation turned to creative jobs. Someone asked about inspiration, and Natalie started rambling about building your brand from scratch. I let her talk, then leaned forward and asked a question like I was just joining the discussion. Do you think it's still considered theft if someone uses someone else's designs but succeeds with them? Forks paused. One clinked against a glass. Natalie's hand froze mid-cut. She laughed it off and changed the subject quickly. No one pushed. But the pause was enough. After the guests started leaving, Natalie pulled me aside behind the tasting room. She kept her voice low, asked what that comment was supposed to mean. I just smiled and told her she was probably just stressed. Big week ahead. Her eyes didn't soften. She scanned my face like she was trying to see behind it, the warmth she usually faked.